Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone around the world. This is Rafe Kine coming at you from somewhere in North Carolina, back again with another episode of our D&D Forgotten Realms campaign with the Protectors. And everybody is here and accounted for. And we're ready to find out what's next. Does anybody want to do the recap for us today?
I could give it a shot.
All right, Bellis, why don't you give it a shot?
Well, as we began our last campaign, the Protectors had just finished a fight with a Chimera, if I'm not too mistaken. My notes tell me that we did discover the trolls are easier to kill if you use fire and acid. Velis had a magnificent performance and earned 35 gold. Banner had a ridiculously badass eye patch made. Dawn asked for hand-to-hand training with Clovis and was beaten soundly. At least that's the way Bellis remembers it. Emeraldi had a cloak made that was spectacular. We reached Earthhome, and that's you. But Beetle and Velis were wide-eyed and agog with amazement at the dwarves riding lions. And wearing plate and carrying two-handed weapons, we ran across someone named Granella Gumbleflare. Or was it Glenn? Yeah. And we were at the Mixed Bear Tavern. We discovered Emeraldi's uncle there. Apparently he spends too much time in the tavern, and since the horrible things, absolutely. And there was also a Glenda Gumbleflare that Emeraldi seemed to have an extensive interest in. We ran across Ethlic, Emeraldi's cousin, and Emeraldi gave the axe that we've been so familiar with to his uncle and received in return his father's maul. We also found out that apparently his uncle has the recipe for knee knocker. And I believe after that, we were heading towards where the trolls attacked their settlement, and we're going to try to see if we could find any news of Emeraldi's mother there.
Yep.
Did I miss much?
I think that about covers it. Does anybody have anything to add or modify?
Except we left off in the woods and something very bad was about to happen to us.
Not just any woods, but ancient giant woods.
Well,
wow. Maybe it was something very good.
Well, something. Let's just say something. You don't know. I mean, okay, so basically...
The look on your face, that smile, something terrible was about to happen to us. And you know it.
It was the laugh right there that made it
Which woods are we in?
What would I wouldn't do that.
We've traveled through this razor vine hellhole surrounding the place where Emeraldi grew up.
Yeah. What's the name of them?
Okay, let me kind of fill in the blanks here a little bit before you like them. Give me just a moment.
Appreciate that. I did watch the stream, so hopefully I'm fairly caught up. I just didn't catch the name.
So you all left the city of Earthhome. I keep on doing that. Earthheart. And you headed south into the forest of Amtar with Ethlic pretty much leading the way. You went through a bunch of razorweed is what it's called. You have to understand the Shar is, for the most part, plains. It's just miles and miles of plains. Think Idaho. It's a lot of, well, actually, I've never been to Idaho, so I really can't tell you if that is. But
Kansas.
Okay, yeah, Kansas. It is miles of plains and tall grasses. Sometimes the grasses reach as tall as 6-7 feet of various types. And you went through a field of razorweed, which you have to go through very carefully and chop down the razorweed to kind of make your way through to not get a bunch of, let's just say, death by 1,000 cuts type scenario. On the edge of the razor weed is very sharp, and that's why it's called razor weed. So you guys made your way carefully through this field and into the forest of Amtar, and eventually found your way into this place where it's a lot of rocks, a lot of hills, rocky hills, and trees kind of just clinging to the rocks, and the roots kind of going down into the rocks, sometimes cracking them. You kind of get the picture. It's a more of a rocky terrain, reminiscent of the Smoky Mountains, maybe a little bit of the Rocky Mountains if you've ever been there. Except for this is a deciduous forest. The oak trees are just blooming far above you in a forested canopy, and you came across this very narrow crevasse, and who was it that scouted forward? Dawn scouted forward. She scouted forward and found that, yes, there's a lot of troll tracks going in and out. There's places where the crevasse was so narrow that the trolls had literally had to kind of push their way through, taking injury in doing so. So the rocks actually have little bits of flesh and marks of troll, kind of this yellowish green troll blood smeared all over the place as you go through the crevasse. And eventually, as she came back and got everybody, Clavis stayed behind to kind of guard the entrance in case someone untoward came, because he didn't want you all to get boxed in. And as you guys each in a single file manner go through this crevasse, eventually the rock walls of the narrow pass open up. And you find yourselves all in an enclosed glade, open to the air but surrounded by rock, the rock of the mountains. The glade is full of gnarled, vine-choked trees that are ancient, some rising nearly 100 feet in the air, while others stand a mere 40 or 50 feet high. And like them, you especially, as soon as you step into this place, you get this very, very strong feeling that this forest is old. As a matter of fact, you feel a very strong presence of nature here, almost as if it is in retreat, a hideaway for the old things in the world that are rarely seen by the light of day. As with anything dealing with nature, it's neither good or evil, it merely exists. And all you know is that this forest is really old and powerful, and with all the things of this nature, as with all things of this nature, has a tendency to manifest itself in sometimes unpredictable ways. Emeraldi, as you kind of catch up with the group and everybody's kind of standing around, looking around, Ethlic kind of standing next to you, just looks at you quietly for a moment, and he says, "Do you remember the day my mother was taken by the trolls?"
Yes, I do, Ethlic. It was this very sad day.
Yeah.
I recall she was out in the fields.
Yeah, that is true. I remember because my father asked your father to gather some dwarves to go chasing after her. We knew that she was still alive. Your father refused, saying, it was too dangerous. I find it kind of ironic that we're going now to find your mother, don't you? Well, he kind of gives you a little bit of a curious look as he says, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Well, think we should
People insight check him?
Sure.
I don't trust this guy.
You can tell he's angry, but that doesn't necessarily surprise you, considering the circumstances in which he lost his mother.
Absolutely.
Velas
She's
looks
keeping an eye on him.
at Ethlic and just, if you bear such ill tidings or ill will for the past mistakes of, or what may be considered mistakes of Emeraldi's father, why do you help now? And of course, it was not Emeraldi that said to not go find your mother.
I'm merely angry. But he's clan, and we do these things for clan. As you're looking around, you see among the vine-choked trees 2 pools of still water standing about 25 feet apart. The one nearest you seems to be clean and healthy, and the other one seems to be perhaps a little stagnant. It looks dark, and but both pools seem to be very calm. To the southeast, you hear a smattering of louder bird-like squawks. Not necessarily an alarm, more just a natural noise of the forest.
I look over towards Emeraldi. Well, where are we supposed to go now?
I'm not really sure. Maybe we should look around and see if we see any more drips of troll blood. Look around about you.
I'll take a look and see if I see any splatterings of blood around.
All right.
I'll just glance around.
I'll join in with that.
Go ahead and make a survival check. Sorry.
I see nothing. And neither does Glade.
Oh wow!
Man.
Yeah, I mean, you look around. It's forest. The forest. You guys see that the forest stretches off to the east. It opens up, but the rock walls bracing the north and the south are definitely stretching off to the east, beyond the pools, and a little to the north.
Well, Emeraldi starts to kind of sniff around. I mean, actually trying to sniff around, imagining he might be able to smell troll blood, and he's going to roll too.
All right. Hopefully you do better than a crit fail. You don't necessarily smell it, but as you're kind of looking around, you do see several tracks heading off in the direction of the east, following kind of the natural flow of the forest. Like them, as you're kind of looking around, you notice that there is kind of a natural flow to the forest. Even though kind of penned in by rock walls, and you actually catch another curious sight. Like as you look up, you see a single crow. There are no other birds in the area other than the squawking sound you hear off to the south and east. But you see this crow, and it's just kind of sitting there, and it's cocking its head as if regarding you all with a strange curiosity.
Hey, Banner. Are you able to speak with animals at this point?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah.
Okay. How's the echo stuff?
Good.
I don't hear
Seems
any.
okay for now.
Okay, cool. I switched to a different device. Sorry to interrupt the flow.
All right.
All good. I was just asking you a question, actually. We just saw a crow, and it's the only bird up there, and I looked over to Banner. I'm like, Banner, can you speak with it right now?
Yes, I guess I could. And I cast speech with animals, and sort of, only I'm not really casting it. I just kind of flip it on, and I listen to the crow.
As you regard the crow, you really don't hear it squawking or making any talking sounds or thoughts. It just seems to be very content in watching you.
I asked the crow, "Hey, what are you talking to us?" In crow.
It cocks its head curiously. If it could make a facial expression, you get the impression that it might have been slightly surprised. But it says nothing.
I say, "Clearly you are surprised that I am talking to you, Crow. Perhaps you would care to tell us if you have seen any trolls in the vicinity. You look like a gentleman, Crow."
I look over at Beetle and say, when I do my next act, I'm going to have to include him in his bird calls.
As you kind of regard this conversation between the silent bird and Banner, he's making all these squawking sounds. Unfortunately, Banner, he just kind of cocks his head once more, and then he flies off to the west.
I think he insulted it.
Something's weird with that. Leaves.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. I mean, you know that much at least, right?
I don't know how that spell works.
He gave me the cold shoulder and flew off. A-hole.
I'm going to listen to see if there are any sounds in the forest that wouldn't usually be ascribed to the sound of a forest. And anything that stands out is different. I'm just going to close my eyes and listen for a minute.
Make a nature check. Whoa, nice. You hear the squawks of what sounds like many cockatrices to the southeast. Aside from that, you hear this kind of wet rippling sound, but that's it.
Do I have any idea what that wet rippling sound might be? Is it like water?
Kind of, yeah. You don't know what this is. I don't think you would have ever encountered anything like this.
Can I attempt to determine its direction?
Based on your nature check, it's east. It's coming from, it almost sounds like, like there was the tool pools, and you hear it kind of coming from the second pool, the stagnant pool.
I'm just going to hold up a finger and say, does anyone else hear that?
I feel like him
gesture
would,
towards it.
Passive perception.
Just like take a finger and go, do, point in that general direction. And then I'm going to start walking over just to see if once I get a bit closer, if I can tell what it might be. Or
Emeraldi's got a question. The troll tracks, are they going in the same direction where that noise is, or a different direction?
Well, they're going generally east and north.
Yeah, we haven't found any troll tracks here, but we're looking for clues. Anyway, I walk over to the pond, the stagnant one.
All right.
I glance down into it.
Make a perception check.
Stupid murky water.
I thought I had that.
It's not too bad.
Nope, not at all.
I can see the pool.
I gotta look at something real quick.
I cast lightning
All right.
bolt into the pond. No,
So,
I'm kidding.
so as you're looking at the pond, it has a black surface. It seems to be slightly rippling, but you can't see. You can't see the surface is not. You can't see through it.
Does it remind us of the aboleth layer?
Does it remind me of like what it might look like if there was something breathing underwater and then like the bubbles come up and like disturb the surface?
No, it's
Or
just
does-
like a.
no, it
it's
doesn't
just
look
like a
that.
sinuous, almost like a. It has surface tension, and there's like this wave or ripple through it.
That's weird. I pick up a small pebble and I just toss it into the pond.
Emeraldi cries out. Unlike Wise the North, around here there's more larger creatures and certainly some larger lizards. And some of the lizards really like to hide in the water, so don't get too close.
I back away after tossing a pebble into the pond.
The pebble sinks. It doesn't even splash. It just kind of, and then it just kind of sinks and is gone.
Lycum, what about you? Are you getting any druidy vibes about this place?
The odd thing is, I am more relaxed now than I've been in the past 4 months with you guys, or whatever it's been.
You're right, that is odd.
It is. But, what am I sensing, Beamer?
What's your passive perception?
21.
That is still insane.
Observant.
Yep, observant for the win.
Do a history check.
Oh, snap. He knows all the things.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
My
You
two
actually
rolls have
named
been
this place on
crits.
the map.
you remember tales of such stagnant ponds. You've never necessarily encountered one before, but you generally remember, and it was like hundreds of years ago, so it's a vague recollection at this point. But you remember that messing around with this stagnant pond for some reason never ended well. For those hapless travelers that found such places, and that the creatures that hang around these ponds are also found most often in subterranean areas.
Well, I don't think that we should be throwing any more pebbles into that pond. It's been a long time since I've remembered anything about these places, but I would say let's try to avoid these ponds if we can. And I start searching for. Did we say that there were troll tracks in this area at all, or we were looking from?
There's around the entrance to the forest where you guys are kind of loitering. There are some remnants of troll blood kind of spattered around from the leftover as they quickly kind of healed, and then there's also tracks that head off to the east and to the north, and not just one or two. As you're looking through this forest, you actually see a faint trail, perhaps a trail that was worn over years of use. So this is not a place that is unpopulated.
So can I go and What's it like on the sides of that trail? Is it super thick, like I wouldn't be able to get through it, or is it
No.
a little bit small?
This forest
Like-
is old growth forest
Mhm.
with very little foliage. There's some
Okay.
bushes around, but there's vines around every one of these trees, very thick and ropey vines. Some are as thick as your body. Others begin that thick, but then dwindle down to your arm in size.
Okay.
Again,
I
this
look at
is a very old forest.
I look at the group and I'm like, all right, so there's a trail over here and we can follow the trail. I kind of would suggest paralleling it and going off to the side so we're not walking directly on it. If that's what we're wanting to do, heading in after the trolls. I'm assuming this is probably going to be the best way.
Works for me.
Affleck just
That
kind of
sounds good.
shrugs.
I
All
get
right.
my machete and I start carving my way through it along parallel.
Um,
Or whatever it is that they gave me
carving-
for cutting that razor. Like, hi, sweetie.
There's no more razor weed in this area. It's just
Yeah, it's
Okay.
clear.
a
It's
natural
cleared out of it.
forest.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I-
You said there is no undergrowth. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. So I just start walking the way Lycum suggested.
Okay.
I look over a beetle, but first I look at Aethelic and Clavis, I think. I don't think either of them
Clavis
have seen
is at
Clovis.
the entrance back behind, simply
Oh,
because I
okay.
didn't want to run that many NPCs.
I look over at Aethelic and I said, "Don't be surprised." And then I turn into direwolf form, and I like nuzzle up to Beetle.
Ethlic
I give him
kind
a
of just
scritch.
Ethlic kind of just grunts and looks unconcerned.
All right, I'm gonna start heading that way and seeing if people follow. I kind of bark over a banner and say, "Hey, tell them to follow. Let's go."
All right.
I'm gonna start
said-
stealthing behind
He says
Lycum.
you all stink in his wolf form. Let's go.
It is entirely possible, but I'll let
I should-
Lycum answer that question.
I shook my head up and down.
I'm stealthing.
Okay. Anybody
Oh, I
that's
should've cast
stealthing, make
Mass
stealth
Stealth
rolls.
Dang it.
I'm gonna put my hood up and stealth with advantage.
We're killing it today, man.
And people looking for me have disadvantage.
That might actually
Which is good
be
because my stealth roll wasn't that great.
that might not actually be my stealth direwolf form.
All right.
There we go. That's my stealth.
You guys continue on, keeping a wide berth around the dark, stagnant-looking pool. As you do, Emeraldi, you kind of glance over and see it out of the corner of the eye. The pool actually looks concave now as it kind of rises, but it was almost like it rises for a moment, and as you look at it, it kind of drifts slowly back down, and now it's just kind of there, flat as what you saw it before. You continue on to the east, into the to the north. The forest continues, and eventually the rock walls come down to a choke point that's directly to the east. Going through the choke point, you actually see that there's an opening. The forest leads off both to the north and to the south.
Can I do a survival check to track and see which way maybe the scent smells the strongest, or where I see that the tracks are heaviest?
Yeah. Actually, let me look at. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to look at something real quick too. There
I'll
was
do that too,
something
or
about
depending on
direwolves that
you.
I wanted to look at.
Keen hearing
Yeah,
and smell.
Keen hearing and smell. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
So I guess would I do a perception check
Yeah.
instead, or would you just do the advantage of that?
Well, exactly what are you looking for?
I'm trying to figure out which way it seems like the trolls would be going normally. Maybe what's the stronger scent? What's been most used recently? So
Alright,
kind of like
so
a
so for
tracking.
tracking is just survival.
Yep. And so I would have advantage on wisdom perception checks, with the smell
I
and
would
hardness.
I did say I wanted to assist. I don't know if that matters.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So, like, you definitely smell trolls. Looking around, you see a lot of troll tracks. It's leading off in both directions. You get the feeling that in this area, this is home to them. So, seeing tracks in every which direction at this point is not necessarily surprising.
I look at Lycum and I'm like, what do you think?
And I didn't. You said I didn't really figure out which way. What?
No, well,
Yeah.
there's tracks going both to the north and to the
Yeah.
south. Troll scent is heavy in the area, as if they've been all over the place over the past little while.
I think basically he's saying we figured out that this is where they live generally.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
gonna say. I think maybe even if we go straight through, we might be able to see a little bit. Like we might get there first, get there before them, or we can sit back and hide and see if we can wait for one and follow it.
I turn to everyone and I say, with Lycum's minimal help, I've uncovered the truth that the trolls live in this general vicinity.
I nip at the back of his leg.
Ow! Oh. I mean, Lycum tells me that the trolls live here.
So you guys are doing what?
I don't think we've decided yet.
So I think basically, though, we can pretty much go anywhere and smack some trolls, which is good.
I
Yeah,
can try to
and-
go scout and see if I can track some down.
I look at Lycum and say, Lycum, my furry friend, would you like to be an invisible direwolf for scouting purposes?
You get the dog grin where like I just like start to like my mouth just goes back, and I'm not like shaking my head or anything, but like it actually sort of looks like I'm snarling at you at the same time. But it's looking, but I'm trying to smile.
I look at Banner and say, "Is this a good look or a bad look?"
I say that's definitely a good one, because I know what wolves look like when they want to eat you.
Like you also see a pool of water to the south. You
Just like the
also
other one?
see, yeah. It's not stagnant. It's just a clear pool of water. It looks safe enough to drink. You see tracks of 3 distinct creatures around this pool, not trolls. Some as recent as less than an hour ago.
All right. Well, I convey that to Banner and the group. Kind of what do we want to do?
Do you know what kind of creatures they are?
I do my relaying of it. I ask well, no, he doesn't, obviously already. I was like, no, he just knows there's something there that's not troll.
Yeah.
So basically, there's all kinds of things in here.
Would you point out the tracks to me? Maybe I can remember something from the nature books I read when I was in
Oh, they're by
college.
the pond. They're by this pond, this clear one here.
I look at Lycum. Could you show me the tracks?
Yeah, and I kind of point at them, like do the dog point.
Come on. There's what I need. Nature.
Ooh.
You have a better nature check than I do.
Nice. You actually see that these creatures are very large. They don't look like they're natural creatures. They're not. This isn't their home. This forest is not their home. that is all you can really tell because you're kind of a little out of your element here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily a forest kind of guy.
Right.
But you've never seen any like wolf track or animal track that looks quite as nasty as these. The tracks give indication of very long claws in the front paws. Yet in the back pair of paws, as you see the tracks, they look a little reminiscent of a wolf, but very large.
Well, I cannot place them exactly, but it seems like from the books that I tried to read and learn about nature so that I would be more prepared for adventuring, that these aren't quite normal forest creatures and don't seem to be... I'm sorry I cannot be of more help, my friends.
Well, perhaps we should continue towards... Well, let's avoid these tracks and just go wherever Lycom's nose takes us towards trolls. I think that's our best bet at this point.
They are very large, though. That much I can tell.
Emeraldi, do you have any way you want to approach this that we're not considering?
Well, I think we have to be cautious approaching any home of trolls. They can be large family clan groups. We could quickly be outnumbered in a matter of moments by 20 to 50 trolls versus our small party. So whatever we could do to gather information about what their habits are and whether they do indeed have any captives and where they might be, we might be able to stage an escape. But trying to smash them head on would be a little foolish. I mean, I wouldn't like to revel in battle, but, we are trying to rescue people and not get ourselves killed.
I mentioned back about being invisible and going scouting if we really wanted, and checking things out.
Oh, right. Well, you could also... So, Velis, you could do that. You could make Lycom invisible and he could go sniff around.
I have this as well, and I gesture with my cloak. This would help me remain unseen.
Probably even better than me, actually.
I don't think any one of us should go alone any closer.
Maybe Noah and I, or Don and I.
I think that sounds like an excellent plan. Our combined skill set would certainly be better than any one of us.
I would also point out that since both of you are elves, they might not be quite as alarmed if they saw a couple of dwarves.
Hopefully we won't be seen, though. That's the point.
Well, one of them is a wolf right now, but yes. But, so are we going to turn Lycom invisible and then Dawn's going to climb on and float around? Or, because I don't think she'll be that stealthy with a robe on oh, wait, she's not going to ride him. Never mind, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know where that we came into the plan.
It was in my own imagination. I just sort of pictured it that way.
All right.
And even lead the way, Lycom.
So what are you guys doing then?
I think
Lycom and I are going to scout ahead.
Yep.
Stealthily. Lycom is going to be invisible, and I'm going to be using my cloak of almost invisibility.
All right. Are you going north or south?
I'm going whichever direction Lycom is going.
Lycom.
All right, we're going north.
North. Okay.
Why not?
I'll reach over and just kind of pet Lycom's head and turn him invisible.
All right. As
Moving
you
stealthily,
continue north,
of course.
Go ahead and make your stealth checks then.
Nice. Wow.
All right.
Yeah. The direwolf gets a +4 to it.
As you continue north, you round a bend in the forest where the rock kind of juts out to your left. And as you round the rock, you see a small clearing with an inviting pool right to the west of you. Oh, excuse me, near the rock wall. The pool glows with a pale blue light.
Do I think this is an unnatural light, or is it just like sunlight reflecting?
This isn't. I mean, water doesn't glow, so.
Okay. Maybe it's radioactive. I glance towards where I think Lycum is, but can't see him, so I have no cue to take off.
I'm walking next to your leg, so you feel where I'm at the whole time.
I'm going to. Yeah. I mean, you're both being stealthy. Oh, you're both invisible, though, aren't you?
No, I'm not invisible. I'm just.
All right. So if you
camouflaged.
guys aren't invisible, I'm going to assume you can see each other, but you're just being quiet.
Yeah, I am invisible, so I'm up against your leg, just kind of taking the lead, so you can at least follow me.
Well, what do you think, Lycum? Should we check that out, or should we keep pressing onwards?
I start to steer him away from it, and I start to head around.
I will bypass it as well.
All right.
I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
How much further to the north are you going?
As far as like the tracks and the smells go, we're silently just trying to scout out what's up ahead.
So the smells tell you that this whole area is basically inundated or has been traversed by trolls at some point on a regular basis. The tracks also tell you the same. As you look to the east, there's a similar gateway where the rock wall kind of juts out. There's rocks that kind of juts out from the north and south, but there's a passageway to the east now. The forest continues to flow towards the north as well.
This passageway to the east, do we know where it goes?
No, none of you have been here before.
All right. Well, since it seems that traveling even further north won't help us, but at least here we can see this passageway. We can go back and tell the party about it. And this strange glowing pond, which Dawn is not going to be able to resist a quick look into as she's walking back, just to glance into it. I'm not going to touch it or drink it.
All right.
Lycum's like nudging against your leg, trying to keep you away from it, or as far away from it as he can. But he's failing.
I'm not going to.
Make a perception check as you're just kind of glancing by. Or walking by
and look into it.
It doesn't look necessarily dangerous. It looks like actually pretty inviting. It looks refreshing, and that's as much as you can tell as you're walking by.
It looks delicious.
Will refrain from doing anything that I'm sure I will regret. So I will walk back to the group and tell them about the lovely pond.
Wait, a pond, you say? A pond? A glowing pond?
We did see a glowing pond. We also saw a gateway in the stone, a natural crevice to the east. I'm not sure where it goes.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I know anything about ponds that glow?
Sure.
Also, there was an enormous tentacled monster in it.
I'm sure there was. Also,
no.
Does it sound familiar to Banner? Just because blue fire and blue pond, I'm just checking.
No, I'm going to say the only people that might know have already did their checks. So.
Okay. That sounds good. So, here's an idea, Emeraldi. Maybe we're going about this the wrong way. What if we positioned ourselves on some higher ground, since trolls seem to be in and out of here all the time, according to Lycum, and we wait, and we catch a group of them, and figure out where they mostly are. We capture them, or kill a few, and capture one, and then we use them to get us in where we want to go.
Or we could just follow them until they take us home.
This dwarf is not going to be climbing any trees.
Okay, how about some lower ground? We dig a hole, and you hide in the hole. That seems very familiar to dwarves. And then we wait. Like a wolf spider. Ah.
haven't been on a stakeout in forever. I support this plan.
Yeah, I think getting. Did you guys end up going south though? Because you guys went north. Was there a way to scout south?
We can.
Lincoln says we can.
I would suggest then we get a better idea what might be going, what's down there, and what's up there, and in the meantime we can kind of find a fortified position in this area. I'm sure, like him, you'll smell us or hear us. At least find something defensible around here.
I'll go with Lycum South.
That sounds like a good
Emerald starts casing around looking for a defensible spot where they can kind of sit down and wait for them to return.
Before I leave, I tell Banner that when I get back, I can help fortify the area with doing some druid craft and hiding some stuff, hiding us within this.
Beetle's gonna try to climb a tree and keep a lookout.
All right.
Banner's going to do that too because he stands a better chance of actually climbing a tree, I think.
That is true.
All right.
Unless he lets me parkour up.
So who's going south?
It's still.
I'm going south with Lycum.
Yep.
All right. And Beetle is trying to climb a tree.
And Banner.
Parkour!
And Banner. All right. Just as a reminder, Beetle, you have not resummoned Cog.
Oh, that's right.
So
I'm
there
gonna
is
go.
no Cog.
Well, have we spent an hour waiting for them to scatter around?
No, it's only been a few minutes.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna start the 1 hour ritual to summon him then, instead of climbing a tree.
Okay.
That sounds questionable.
All right.
Wait a minute. When did Cog?
It was when we were coming here, wasn't it?
The Chimera killed him.
Oh, I would have resummoned him by then.
You never said that, so.
Oh, well, it's been like more than a day, hasn't it? It's been a couple of days.
Yeah, but we already took care of downtime, and you had all the opportunity in the world to resummon him.
Oh,
so
come
I am
on.
not going to retcon that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's ridiculous, but okay.
I am not retconning that. You snooze, you lose.
Just find a hiding spot while I look in the tree and they're out scouting and we're fortifying the position and give it a try.
All right. So
athletics.
Dawn and yeah, athletics. If you're climbing a tree, athletics.
Banner scurries up a tree. He finds a crow's nest.
Yeah, you find a decent looking tree and you manage to get up about a third. Are you looking to go all the way up?
What just happened with stealth? What just happened? I'm gonna go up only as far as I can actually. I don't want to go into the canopy and not be able to see anything. So I'm basically hanging out at the bottom of the canopy so I can get a good bird's eye view of our area.
All right, let me look at something.
Just so I can be a lookout.
All right. So, how far forward are you guys creeping, Dawn and Lycum, as you feel pretty confident that you're pretty stealthy?
I'm just gonna go where Lycum goes.
And I will say, even though it's a natural 20, it's not necessarily a crit. It's a contested roll. So
for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna want to go about as far as we possibly can, following the path. Because I really want to get some eyes on some trolls, just to see if we have any around us, and if we see anybody with them. That's kind of what I want from this.
Okay.
I'm just following Lycum because he knows where he's going.
All right.
I'm attempting to know where I'm going.
You have a better idea of where you're going than I am.
As you both creep forward, Lycum, I gotta look at something. Because I think I'm thinking of alert and not observant.
Alert means you can't be surprised.
Yeah,
Right.
observant means I can read lips. That's about it. Plus, yeah.
You're still invisible, right?
Yeah.
Perception checks to see me have disadvantage.
Pass, okay. Lycum, make a wisdom saving throw.
With
Yeah.
advantage because you're an elf.
Well, I was just reading the charm person thing. It says they have to be able to see, and he's actually.
Oh, it does say you can see within range.
Also, he's not a humanoid.
I did not realize I did not have that set at. All right, make a wisdom saving throw.
What?
It's at advantage.
Yeah,
since
with
he's an
advantage.
elf.
All right. As you're creeping forward, you feel kind of this magical sense of lethargy try to settle over you. And you kind of look around. You know you have a new friend. Where is he? No, that's not right. You shake out of it just as Dawn, you see 3 large creatures erupting from the nearby bushes. Let me see here. As 3 monstrous looking creatures with huge fangs and gray matted fur jump out at you. Roll initiative. Everyone roll initiative, but you guys... Banner's up a tree.
Can I see them, though? Are they far enough that I can't see them from my lookout? That's my first part.
You can see them. What tree are you in?
Well, I
hold
positioned
on.
myself as a lookout
Sorry, hold
where
on,
we
hold on,
originally were. Okay.
This will help. Whoop, shit. Come on, Brian. All right.
Wow, we did not make it very far.
Yeah, I was just saying, it really depends on how far they made it. But
Do I get the sense that they see me?
Oh yeah, they
Okay.
definitely seen you.
I feel like they don't have eyes. I don't see anything. Oh wait, now I do. Oh hey, there I am. And now I hear music. I continue my trend of Banner being the last person on Earth in every round.
Everyone gets to kind of arrange themselves in that general area where Banner and Beetle is.
Alright, I'm gonna say I'm up this tree here then.
That dex roll is my initiative since it's based off of the direwolf stuff at this point.
Alright, and turn, and you're in.
Like am I
17.
Also, I think my
Oh, that's
token needs to be bigger.
Yeah, it does. You should be able to make that bigger. Just click and drag. All right, there
I'm
you
not.
go.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect.
All right. So, other than Banner, everyone hears this monstrous roar and rustling of bushes as something has happened in the direction that Dawn and Lycum has disappeared.
giant wolf rat things, everybody?
Dawn, having a drop at seeing them, what do you wish to do as these things kind of erupt out with a roar?
All right.
I'm going to turn that down a little.
I don't really know where Lycum is since he's invisible, and I am going to just see these creatures burst out of the undergrowth at me. Do I know what they are, or are they completely unfamiliar?
No, you wouldn't know. These are not necessarily natural things.
All right. In that case, I'm just going to hurl a firebolt at the one down here.
All right. And it hits. It yelps as the firebolt kind of slams into its side, doing a decent amount of damage.
For 2d10, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot to roll Afflict, so let me add him.
Is Clavis scouting around somewhere?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
watching our backs.
Forest, I think.
Yeah, he's
All right.
at the entrance.
Okay.
All right.
And I am then also I didn't realize, but we're within like a narrow canyon here.
Yeah. Well, this is a forest, but it's a very enclosed, tight-spaced forest.
So it's like a ravine.
Yeah, you could call it that, or a gorge.
Okay, I understand it better now. Also, as that happens, I'm going to start booking it back to the camp, going, help, help, help! 2, 3, 4. I'll stop there.
All right.
I'll go one more.
Is
I'll get
that-
under the tree that Banner's in.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I shoot the firebolt, and then I run off to get everyone else.
All right. Velis, seeing Dawn kind of erupt from the south, going help, 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 and hearing all the loud ruckus to the south, what do you wish to do?
Let's see. Now, Velis would most likely just move forward to see what's going on. What's going on, Dawn?
You can see it if you get up close enough to see me. It's only like 30 feet away from me.
Yeah, you could definitely see to the south, and to the east, those two huge creatures. Huge fangs, canines kind of jutting out. Their forepaws ending in long, like 3-inch claws. Kind of a bastardization between something else and a wolf.
Okay.
I have the feeling it's the something else that's more dangerous.
Let's see here. I'll come up to right there when I would come around the tree and be like, oh crap, what's that? And then let me see something here. I look at take a glance around and look up in the tree, and I can't do that. Can't do that just yet. Oh, no. Sorry.
Actually, I do have to add something kind of in a post-mortem. Dawn, as you hit that thing, it did notice. You did notice that even though it did hit and do good damage, it didn't do quite as much damage as you had thought it would.
Okay. Okay.
I was muted. Oops. I was just gonna say, good thing that's the only spell I have that does fire damage. It's a cantrip.
So I look at the one that appeared as I came around the tree, and I cast Dissonant Whispers at it.
Okay.
Now I just wait for something to happen after I click the button.
All right.
Or, okay.
I'll just go ahead and do that. I can tell you right now, it fails. As which one do you cast it at?
There's what I'm doing wrong. Oink. This one.
Okay. Takes yeah, it growls in pain as it runs away.
Oh.
All right, is that your turn?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I got it with my firebolt. It's running away from me now. I set it on fire.
All right, Emeraldi, what do you wish to do?
That's Ethlic.
Ethlic, what do you wish to do? Oh, wait. So Ethlic is kind of looking around. He looks a little puzzled. He goes, well, ain't seen nothing like that before. He draws his 2 axes. And he looks very happy for the first time since you guys have seen him, as he just kind of dashes in. And just and 3 and 4. He just lays into this thing. His axes are a blur. Hitting twice for 12 points of damage as he scores some good hits on it. Lycum, you're up. What do you wish to do?
I snarl and I dive towards the nearest one to me and bite at him.
All right, you definitely hit it as you kind of sink its teeth into its forepaws. It growls and kind of pulls back and bares its teeth at you.
Did it do a strength check against it?
Yep, I'm working on it.
Okay, perfect.
I had to...
And you're no longer invisible.
Yes.
and he rolled a 19. Alright, is that your turn?
Yes, that is.
Alright. Beetle, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Beetle is startled, and she looks up from the ritual she was trying to cast, and she's like, ah, crap. And she's like, Bert, start climbing. So Bert starts kind of scuttling over to climb up the tree, and she's like, and hold that thought. And she turns around and she whips out her light crossbow and shoots a bolt towards this guy.
All right.
A regular bolt. I'm sorry, not the light crossbow. This will be the feather dart, the heavy crossbow.
All right. Unfortunately, the bolt kind of goes wide and sparks off of a rocky outcropping there.
Okay. And then she would like to, as a bonus action, take the dash action, and Bert's gonna help us do the help action, help her get up the tree. She's gonna try to climb.
Okay. Make a quick athletics check as you're climbing the tree.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you definitely get up there. Maybe not quite as easily as you had hoped, but you do manage to get up there, and you're kind of.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
I just want to be like 15 feet up, basically.
All right. Emeraldi, you just see Ethlic like light into this huge creature, his arms a blur, bolt going past you. Vella's speaking his little incantation. Lycum kind of jumping in. What do you wish to do?
Well, Emeraldi's seen his cousin have all the fun, and his reason he probably needs to get into it too. Otherwise, his cousin's liable to not let him live it down. So Romaldi gets in here next to this bush right here. And launches an attack with this maul with 2 swings.
All right. And both hit as you smack into it solidly. You hear the crunch of a rib as it kind of just kind of pulverizes.
Now those are hits.
Yeah, and you see kind of a little bit of blood coming out of its nose from some internal bleeding. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. Lycum, the creature in front of you is going to claw at you with its 2 massive claws. Does a 14 hit you? It rolled a 14 and a 5. I know a 5
I have a 14 AC.
All right, so you managed to kind of leap out of the way as the first claw comes by just by your muzzle, but the second claw rakes you along your side, doing 5 slashing damage. And then it follows up with a bite as it snaps at you, but it barely misses as its huge incisors just barely like inches in front of your muzzle. You get a whiff of horrible breath, kind of this fetid breath of corpses.
I snarl back at it.
Let's see here. This guy going to go up here, and he's going to 1, 2. 12. Neither of them hit. So the one to the south roars forward, slashing at you with its claws like missing as you kind of turn at bay at him and snarl at him. And just as you snarl at him, he comes forward and just clamps onto your forepaw with a 20. He rolled a 20 with 4 piercing damage as he kind of bites home, and you feel the blood kind of gush. The creature that had previously run away comes roaring back as well.
Jeez.
Lycum, I rolled 21 2 times and a 9. So the claw slashes at you, doing a total of 6, 7, 8 damage, slashing damage as he lays into you. You're feeling a little put upon at this point, as these wolf-like creatures are now kind of using some pack tactics against you. Dawn, what do you wish to do?
Oh,
Wait,
I think you
Banner.
skipped Banner.
Oh, I'm sorry, Banner, what do you wish to do?
I waited a whole round. So, quick question.
Mhm.
If I'm at the very bottom of the canopy, how high up am I?
That particular tree is about 40 feet. So if you're at the bottom of the canopy, then I would say you're about 30 feet high.
Oh, okay. So, okay, and how long? Sorry to ask questions. I know long jumps are strength modifier based. Is 10 foot a reasonable long jump to just make with a 16 strength, or how's that work exactly?
There's a formula to calculate it in the PHP. I don't know where it is.
What exactly are you trying to do?
Basically, I'm only 10 feet from the other tree, so I just want to run across and jump to the next. There's 10 feet between the 2 trees. I just want to run to this branch here. I was going to just run and jump to the next tree, and then I was just going to, which is only 20 feet of movement, and I'm just going to dive on top of this one next to Emeraldi.
All right, so when you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump.
Okay.
If you're looking just to jump without that
cold jump.
A standing long jump, you can leave only half that distance.
So you can
Okay.
leave 8 feet with a strength score of 16.
Oh, is that how it works?
So extend your arms and hope to grab something.
So yeah, that tree is what? How long?
Well, Dawn's under a branch there. Actually, there's only 5 feet between them, really. If Dawn's where the tree is, it's 10 feet. It's
It's up to Brian to decide
It's
if the
up to
branches
you,
further
yeah.
out
I'm
are
asking
large
the
enough to
question.
support your weight. We don't know how
Whatever
close you are
Well,
to the trunk when you
I
jump.
will say that there is a branch that is about 10 feet away, but
Okay.
whether or not you're able to grab a hold of it is going to completely rely on your
Okay. If you say I can make the
acrobatics.
attempt, I'll make the attempt. I'm gonna make the attempt. I just wanted to know that I could.
Yeah, you
So
can.
whatever I need to do that.
All right. So as you
So I just
you can jump 8 feet. So yeah, you managed to do that. As you're getting close, you're gonna try and grab a hold of the branch. So make a acrobatics check as you're trying to just kind of grab a hold of it.
Oh,
all right.
I can't do much to help you there.
So as you grab a hold of it, what actually happens is you grab a hold of the branch, but the branch is about an inch thick, and you're like, oh no, and down you go, taking 16 points of bludgeoning damage as you pancake into the ground, falling 30 feet.
Okay, I don't get a save on landing, or
I'll
I just don't know if I'm prone.
I'll tell you
I
what.
don't-
Make
I don't care about the damage.
make an acrobatics check to see if you manage to land at least. Yeah, I'm gonna say instead of taking 16 points of damage, I will allow you to take half that as you manage to kind of roll a little bit. You know, you kind of land hard, but then you kind of roll forward on your shoulder blades to minimize the impact a little bit.
Okay, do I get more movement or not? It's the I just fell right here, I guess.
I'm not sure. How does that work for jumping?
Any movement traveled on your turn counts towards your movement.
All right,
So otherwise, you'd move 30 feet and then jump another 10 every turn.
but falling
I-
doesn't count as
Falling
movement.
doesn't count.
So
though.
Okay, so
However,
I'll say you have another 20 feet of movement.
Okay,
So you
I
can stand
keep going.
up.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh gosh. Then I keep
You can either
going.
crawl or stand up.
I'm gonna stand up. I mean, I assume I landed on my feet and just ate the damage. Like, oh.
no. If you take any points of fall damage, you go prone.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled. He said. That's right. I forgot. That's. Oh, so I am prone or I'm not?
If you take fall damage, you're prone.
You minimize the damage by being able to kind of fall safely, but ultimately you are prone.
Okay, I misunderstood.
So you have
I
20 feet
apologize
of
for all
movement
this.
left.
I don't know anything about falling. I've never fallen before. But I'm going to go there with the 10 feet I guess I have to stand up and then move 10 feet.
All right.
And then I'm going to draw my staff of lightning and hurl it through the first one and into the second creature. Or
Alright.
javelin of lightning.
Nice.
So that's the... Why don't I have the information on the javelin popping up, though?
All right. Dexterity. 1, 2.
Does that hit the second one?
Yeah, they rolled a 19 and a 20 on their dex saving throws.
Okay, well, the second, if it hits the second one, it takes the 4d6 regardless. it doesn't make a save. It's based on whether the javelin hits it.
Right, and so then the first one is going to take half damage because it's succeeded.
Right. The first one actually you missed, though just barely. 15.
I miss it. It
Yes.
doesn't.
It's a dex save
dex
versus
save.
half damage.
Yes. He rolled a 15 on the attack. He misses.
But it's not an attack for the first one. It's a dex save.
Yeah.
It's only
Right, he's
It's a
talking about the
dex
second
save.
one.
I'm talking about the second one.
Oh.
Oh, okay. That was my.
Missed
Okay.
that, sorry.
So the lightning damage is 12. Okay, so he takes 6 damage, and that is halved to 3.
So lightning is half too. Okay, cool. All right, that's my turn.
All right. Dawn, you're up. What do you wish to do?
I am going to. Oh, I'm going to cast Shatter over here. See how thunder damage fares, and probably blow up the tree as well. With
Okay.
it. No, not Thunderwave. Shatter. Shatter. $15. Yeah. All right.
And both fail with a 6 and a 4.
So that's not as I just throw out my hand, whisper an incantation. The tree explodes.
Absolutely. You see splinters flying in every direction. The creatures yelp in pain as they both kind of feel the brunt of your assault.
I will remain where I am.
All right. And that's your turn?
Yep.
All right. Bellis, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Did they appear resistant to that?
No, not at all.
Okay. Good. Because it was a second level spell.
All right. Let's see. Back on the screen. There we go. Blink. Bellis is going to move over to here. He's seen Banner crash to the ground. He looks at
He just
Banner.
falls out of the tree.
And this is what actually happens. Bellis starts to run over here to make sure he's okay, and then he leaps up and runs away over here to attack that guy, and Bellis is like, I guess he's okay.
It's raining men! Sorry. Bad song reference.
He stops right here, and he kind of looks over the battleground, sees three members looking after this one right here, and Banner off by himself, and decides to cast haste on Banner.
All right, and that is a touch-based spell, right?
Nope. It is
I think it is.
30-foot range.
Really?
Yep.
Very nice.
All right.
And then he looks it over again, and he says, Emeraldi, for Baranar, for Knee-Knocker, attack and smash your foes with your father's hammer. And does inspiration on Emeraldi with a bonus action.
All right. Is that your turn?
My turn.
All right. Ethlic growls, and he looks almost like he's in a rage, but not quite, as he growls something about unnatural creatures. And his axes go into a blur again as he strikes 4 more times. 2 more strikes against the creature as he does an additional 16 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
The creature to the north now, kind of surrounded by Emeraldi, Ethlic, and Lycum, is looking about half dead. And that is his turn. Lycum, you're up, surrounded by these wolf-like creatures. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to continue to gnaw on the one that we've been hacking at.
All right, and you have pack tactics now as well.
Yep. So
Oh.
18.
Nice.
Yeah, and that hits as you kind of sink your teeth once again, this time into its like shoulder area, this haunch, doing 5 piercing damage. And let's see if he does that. DC. Oh. And as you do so, you kind of thrash and knock him prone as you kind of throw him to the side. Right there. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Beetle, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Okay. Ask me if Bert can do this. I would like Bert to use the help action for Emeraldi by flavor-wise making it look like this bar guest is covered in, or part of it, like a 5-foot part of it, is covered in crawling spiders using minor illusion, just for flavor purposes.
I have to point out that minor illusion can't move.
Oh, that's right.
You can make a sound. Just a really loud noise behind it could startle it.
Yeah, to startle it, distract it.
I will allow that.
Okay, so
I like that.
So, yeah. So they will do that, and then Beetle's gonna take a shot at the bar guest. Well, I don't actually know their bar guest. So at the wolf thing, down by Banner, because it's not prone, she will not have disadvantage on the shot. So.
Oh man, your attack rolls today are
I know,
not
I'm rolling like
quite
crap.
there. As the shot goes wide, and concurrently, is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm situated like on a branch comfortably.
Yeah, definitely.
And reload my crossbow.
Okay. Your shot goes wide. And about at the same time, Emeraldi, you hear this large blast behind the bar guest as you hear kind of Bert scuttling forward on a branch just past Beetle, on the same branch Beetle is on, and he's seems to be kind of aiming his thorax, his mechanical thorax, towards this wolf-like creature. What do you wish to do? This wolf-like creature looks a little distracted and surprised.
Emerald is going to move closer, and he's going to use inspiration that Velas gave him for 2 attacks.
Okay.
What do I have to do for the inspiration part?
If you don't think you're going to hit, then you just roll a 1d8 and add it to your attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's only it's just one use of the inspiration, so you can add it to a attack.
You hit without it.
Yeah,
I might not need to.
you slam into him with your maul. This time you hear an alarming crack as the creature yelps very loudly, and you see its hind legs suddenly go limp as you broke its backbone. And it kind of looks at you for a moment, and as you bring down the mole for the second time, you just smash its head into a pulp. And it's dead.
This is what my dad used this for.
All right, is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. Banner, as you approach the Barghest to the south, it wheels at you, and it opens its mouth. At first, you think it's about to growl, but then, with its mouth open, you feel this mental blast kind of hit you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez.
As the mental blast hits you, all of a sudden you feel an overwhelming urge to just grovel at the feet of this creature as you suddenly drop to your knees, drop your glaive, then put your hands down on the forest floor and your forehead on the forest floor, as if, you know, the whole Wayne's World, we're not worthy, and you're now groveling in front of this Barghest as the suggestion takes hold. The Barghest to the east, however, is fixated like on you as it leaps forward once again. Does a 15 and an 18 hit?
Yes, they both do.
All right, doing 13 slashing damage as it kind of lights into you. Banner, you're up. What do you wish to do? Actually, you make another wisdom saving throw. Hold on, I gotta look at that. If you or any of your damage target, blah, 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 blah. Alright. It does not say additional saving throws. You're groveling.
Wait, did he cast command or suggestion? That's a reasonable request to grovel at enemies who are trying to kill your party?
Wait, is this for
The spell ends if you take damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it my turn? What's going on? I'm sorry.
Done. You're up.
You are groveling.
Oh, so I don't get a save again?
No, but the spell ends if you take damage.
Oh, okay.
Dawn, what do you wish to do?
Do I recognize that he has been cast suggestion?
I think
I have
seeing
the I used the spell.
yeah, and I think seeing Banner groveling in front of this thing is not something Banner would do. So, yeah.
All right. In that case, I am going to. I guess I don't need to. It's not like any of us are in real danger in this fight. I'll just conserve spell slots and shoot another fire bolt at the one nearest me. I'm sure we'll have tougher battles. 2 damage, but it hits.
Yes, it does hit. As the firebolt kind of sticks into its thick hide, it looks at you questioningly, and it looks like it's dismissing you out of hand.
Well, I'm not trying very hard, so I don't mind.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yeah, I'll just back away too.
Alright, Velas, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Well, I am going to start reciting a dwarven battle chant that Emeraldi taught me after seeing Banner start groveling before this. I'm assuming that I might be intelligent enough to figure out that there's some kind of enchanting effect or charming effect going on that I might be able to counter with a counter charm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
So I will do counter charm. I don't know if that stops my concentration spell, though. It's not a spell or anything. As an action, I can do a performance and grant myself and allies within 30 feet of me advantage on saving throws versus being frightened or charmed.
All right, assuming they make saving throws, which this does not. So are you sure you want? And I would assume that Velas knows that. So are you sure you want to do that?
Is it going to end the haste on?
It's not going to
No.
help him.
No, it's not going to end the haste, but it's not going to necessarily help him because suggestion does not have a saving throw.
All right then. But I thought he made a wisdom save at the beginning of it.
Yeah, no, but that's only one. If you failed, you failed it.
It's kind of like an all or nothing proposition.
He's
Right.
already made the save, so your counter charm won't help. If you had,
I'm doing it
Also-
not necessarily for him. I'm doing it so that nobody else in the party gets charmed.
Okay.
also
yeah, you can definitely
suggestion.
do that, and it wouldn't end haste.
Okay.
I don't believe suggestion is suggestion even a charm?
It's a charm effect.
Okay.
All right, so is that what you want to do?
Yep.
Okay. Anything for your bonus act? Actually, yeah. Is there anything else you want to do for your turn?
It doesn't say it's a charm effect in the spell. Oh, yes, it is. It says creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. So I guess that's implying it.
Yep.
Okay. Never mind.
You will be ignored. That's all. I'm going to mention during the little performance for the counter charm. I'm going to mention Ethlic's name a couple times and throw an inspiration his way too.
Okay. All right, is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Ethlic is going to continue roaring unintelligibly as he now leaps towards the south at the creature and attacks. He's going to use he's going to use your. It's a D8, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right. He's going to use it on the first one. Hitting 3 times for 9, 16, 21 points of damage.
And that means that thing's got to make a concentration check.
Yep. Which he fails. Banner, as you kind of stop and you say, "Wait, what am I doing?" You are no longer groveling, Banner. Lycum, you're up. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna turn to the next one nearest me, and actually, I'm probably gonna reposition myself here. I'm going to move. Come on, move that. There we go.
And the one to the south at this point is looking about half dead.
Okay, I'm gonna move to about right there. So I'm still within range and everything, but I'm going to chomp down on the one to my left.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jump away.
Nope. 11.
Nope. Unfortunately, you do not hit. Is that your turn?
Yes.
All right, Beetle, you're up.
Okay, Bert's gonna do the same thing he did last time and make a really loud kind of exploding noise right under this one's feet.
Okay.
And help me as I take a shot at it.
All right.
Because apparently I need some help.
And that help was rewarded as the crossbow bolt sinks into its thick hide. Nice, doing 17 points of damage.
I give Bert a high five, and that's the end of our turn.
All right, Emeraldi, you're up. The one to the south is looking bloody and not doing so well. The one to the east looking fairly healthy. What do you wish to do?
Emeraldi charges right next to his cousin, winks at him, and takes his couple of swats at this next one.
All right. Oh man, you have been rolling beautifully tonight.
I know.
Yeah, you just lay into it. You hear kind of sickening crunches as your maul kind of smacks against his body, snapping bones and crushing cartilage. It does not look like it's long for this world. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
All right. All right. So the creature to the south is going to return and look at Ethlic, leaping forward with claws and bite. Ethlic, at first, it looks like he's doing awesome, kind of showing a uncommon amount of dexterity for a dwarf as he's weaving away from the claws. But then as he kind of comes back into a fighting position, the creature lunges forward and just clamps on his arm, critically injuring him for 27 points of damage. Ethlic kind of screams, "Ah, you dirty dog!" The creature to your east, Emeraldi, is going to leap forward at you. What's your AC?
Emeraldi yells "Fusro da" and just knocks it back 20 yards.
The claws miss you. Actually, one scrapes across your plate armor. The other one just misses you entirely. However, the bite, man, these bites, just smacks into you, clamps onto your arm. Make a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Can I use the inspiration on that?
You can.
Not after you roll it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, sorry. I thought I misunderstood.
Bardic inspiration, I believe you can.
Yes. I thought he was talking about DM inspiration.
Okay, here we go.
Um,
And that's another +2 because of my aura.
Emeraldi, as the creature clamps down on you, you feel a surge from your weapon. A rage that nestled in the back of your mind previously blooms to fruition, and you completely lose any kind of sense of battle as this kind of berserking fury descends upon you. And I sent you the information on what you have to do now.
So Banner's on his knees, his hands are down, and his eyes go wide, and then his face turns like a bright red, and you see his eyes go completely, they're just wide, and he stands up and he doesn't pick up the glaive on the ground, and he looks at the creature, and all of a sudden in his hand this shimmer appears, and you see this glaive appear in his hand with the head of a wolf and its mouth open, and the blade strikes through the mouth, and he looks at the creature. He's like, you did not just make me do that again. And he then action surges, and he casts Hex, and his eyes go black. And he hexes the creature, and this aura takes over, and he takes 2 swings at it, flanked with Lycum with advantage. And I'm going to use Backblade's attack just because it's simpler that way.
Alright.
Because it doesn't have a +1.
Oof.
Yeah, you managed to get one hit off as you leap forward and go into this slashing fury.
And I swing fast and miss, but I come around and I hit him, and I use... I'm going to roll a superiority dice on that to increase the damage.
All right.
And I'm going to use... I forget what it's called. Distracting... I'm going to use Trip, actually.
Okay.
So another 4 plus a d6.
All right. Nice.
So a total of 12.
All right. So as you do this, this creature was not looking very healthy to begin with, but in your fury, your first strike kills it, but your second strike you just keep on hacking at it, just kind of turning it into a pulp as it yelps in pain, and then with look of fear and finality in his eyes, as your glaive kind of slashes down and bisects his head right from top to bottom. His jaws kind of splitting wide. You're covered in this gore now as he drops dead.
Better just breathes heavily, covered in blood, after hitting it like 6 times after it's dead. His eyes are still black with the hex energy.
Is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
All right. Dawn, you're up. What do you wish to do?
I'll just shoot a firebolt at the last one.
All right.
That one misses.
Yeah, it does. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Bellis, you're up. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to continue counter charm,
Okay.
and since there's only one left, I'm going to step forward to make sure that the guys in front of me stay within my counter charm area. And since we're down to one, I'm just going to keep the counter charm going to hopefully keep them from getting charmed.
All right. Which brings up Ethlic. Is that your turn?
Yes, sir.
All right. Which brings up Ethlic. He kind of looks at you, Emeraldi, and he goes, "You got that same look." And then he runs forward to the Barghest and
The bar last.
lays into it. Wow. Yeah, nice. Hitting it 3 times for 14, 15, 20 points of damage. As, again, his axes are a blur. Lycum, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Gonna keep on biting. I'm gonna look over to this last one, snarl at him, and in wolf speak, I'm gonna say, "You will not touch Banner nor make him grovel." Even though it wasn't him, I'm still all of them. I'm not happy about it.
All right.
Even with
Unfortunately,
advantage.
you were too busy yelping and snarling at him. And at the same time, you were trying to bite, and it just didn't work. But he looks
Yeah.
intimidated. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Beetle, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Okay. Same tactics. Bert makes exploding noises under this one's feet, the one that's left.
All right.
And I take a shot at him with sneak attack. That was a really good roll.
Yeah,
Both.
yeah, that was a good roll. Yeah, the bolt kind of slams into him. It hits him right under the, right in the neck, right where this chest is, and it sinks deep. You see a gout of blood kind of come out of him. He looks like he's not long for this world at this point. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right,
I
Emeraldi.
yell, finish him, Emeraldi!
Kill him. Sorry.
Let's see. Now, I was reading that description, and the question I have is, in this, what's going on? Does Emeraldi know friend and foe, or is...
No, that's the whole point.
So how do I know? How do I make the character follow those instructions? You know, because I gotta leave.
Okay,
like,
so
move.
typically what I do is I roll a d4, and 1 being north, 2 being east, 3 being south, and 4 being west, and I resolve random directions that way. All right. Since there's nothing in the west, roll again. All right.
That was what?
South.
Okay.
So, describe what's going on.
Emeraldi's basically has a very deep voice and is almost kind of blabbering to himself, and is got profusely sweating, and his eyes are darting left and right, and he focuses his intent on Ethlic and swings twice
Jesus.
to the back of his cousin's skull.
Ethlic looks up, shocked, as your weapon slams into him, and he screams out in pain as he lurches forward, not looking too good at this point, as you see his weapons, his axes actually fly wide, and he goes prone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is that your turn?
Emeraldi just continues to just kind of babble and looking and darting and foaming at the mouth a little bit as drool just kind of comes down his chin as he's looking at anybody that's around him.
All right, and go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw.
Is this a charm effect?
I think it's something else.
All right, so as you do that, the rage suddenly recedes. That moment of rage, that moment of uncontrollable urge, and you feel yourself again.
Emeraldi just collapses to his knees and moves back 15 feet.
As you do so, you recall stories of Malkar's ferocity in battle once battle has been joined. How he seemed almost incapable of controlling his ferocity. Is that your turn?
That's my turn. Does the enemy get an attack on me because I move backwards from it?
Yeah, he does take an opportunity attack with his claws as he kind of leaps forward, but he misses. After he misses, like him, he turns towards you with 2 more claw attacks, both of which miss. Actually, all of his attacks miss horribly. As
he was intimidated.
Yeah, he was intimidated. He rolled 2 natural 1s and an 8. As he just kind of swipes almost hesitantly in your direction. Not really sure he wants to be in this fight anymore. Banner, you're up. What do you wish to do?
Banner seems sort of out of it, but this whole thing with Emeraldi, obviously, he heard the sinking of the maul into his cousin's skull, and he looks up and, not understanding what's happening, his fury directs towards the next creature, thinking it has basically enslaved Emeraldi now too, and he throws up the hex onto the next creature.
Okay.
And steps here to flank. And
that,
makes 2 attacks.
And this creature looks almost dead as well.
Okay, and I'm making 2 attacks against it because I'm hasted. Uh-oh, I just did something terrible. Okay. Hang on a second. No, I did that wrong. But basically those are 24s. Sorry. It added them together, but I made both attacks plus 6.
Then you're still hasted.
Okay.
Yeah, well those were 2 attacks. That's why I did that. So it's 24 for both attacks.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you definitely hit it both times.
Okay. So damage will be...
Alright, and with that, it kind of, you slice its head off in true Banner style as you dispatch the last one. The din of battle dying down, and we are going to take a brief break.
I wanted the necrotic damage just for good measure.
Can some of us level up now?
Experience will be handed out at the end.
Why do you hate me?
Well, that concludes this episode of our Forgotten Realms D&D campaign. If you have enjoyed these episodes, please remember to hit the like button for this video. And if you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe to this channel. You can also watch us live on Twitch TV. And the link to my channel is down below, as well as a link to my Twitter feed. Until next time, have a great day.